Welcome to Prime Motivation. Jordan speaking, aka J Prime. And math. Welcome to my world. That's what we're gonna be talking about today. We're gonna be talking about math. And before you click off, just bear with me. I think you'll like this. Maybe you will. I don't know. Each person is different. But I'm gonna tell you a little bit my thoughts about it. We won't be getting into anything like too crazy. But okay, so here's the thing. Math is a very big part of my life. I liked it as soon as I was introduced to it, which is before I even knew what it was, and at a time that I don't even remember. Been doing it for a while. But my mom taught me it before I got to school, and saw that I liked it. And even though she didn't like it, she didn't let me know until I was an adult. And she let me run with it. And over the years, it really stuck with me. I liked a lot of subjects. And how appropriate is that? I mean, you look into the roots of mathematics and, the word, and it's pretty much study of everything. That's where it all comes from. And I cannot think of anything more appropriate for that in my life. Um, so the actual subjects, though, that interests me. And I feel like it gets a bad rap. And it is unfortunate, but it's not exactly unjustified. I mean, the way it's presented, I mean, I can't speak for other countries, but the way it is over here, it's not dealt with great. And we think it's this like unholy beast, something that can't be tamed. And anyone who is very familiar with it, we look at them like they're gods. But see, here's the thing. Me personally, I'm great at math. I mean, I've made a living out of it. And imparting said math and to like newer generations. I mean, it's what I do. Um, but as great as I am, what makes me unique isn't the fact that I'm great at it, it's that I'm aware of it. I think a lot of people could do what I could do, and some people can do it probably better than they think right off the cuff. Um, and I think one of the big things with math, though, is one, when we're teaching it growing up, we don't give enough context, I feel, but that's a whole other story for another day. But the big thing is what is math? A lot of us think it's just, numbers and operations, and yes, that's part of it. But for me, and something that I try to spread to others, is that it is about much more than that. Yes, it's about numbers, but it's also about representation. It's about communication. It's about looking at the universe, trying to find a way to speak about it, which, goes back to communication. But seriously speaking, though, yeah, it's about more than numbers. It is about ideas, it's about systems, it's about relationships. And the big thing, when you look at numbers, right? Numbers are what? They're symbols. They mean something to us. We use numbers and we know what they indicate, right? Like, I have one and I know that it's that. You know, you can apply it to other things, but we have an idea about what one is. We have an idea about two and three, four, five, any other number. The idea is, again, those are symbols, they're representations, they mean something. So for me, that's what it's about. And we could do some crazy things with math. It's the language that we decided to speak about the universe in, and I am personally excited to use it. But I think it gets a bad rap, and I think people don't have enough context for it in most situations. And you know what? I get it. That's not really on them. That's on our system. But so when I'm talking to people about it, I do try to explain that it is more than just the numbers, and there's a certain art to it. You could argue that it within itself is an art. So I think like one thing you should definitely do, like is Google fractals. Like you could, or Google image search. Um, if nothing else, I think like the math behind fractals are pretty interesting, but I think like the images are absolutely fascinating. And you get these pretty pieces, you get these pretty things, and you have math to think for that. And it's behind everything. We use math without even thinking about it. And I would go so far, at least to me, that okay, so math is very logic heavy, and I feel like That's a big part of it too. In any case, that's kind of what I wanted to get across in this video, though. It's just like math is way more than you think. And I feel like more people would give it a chance if they knew, more about what it was. And even if they didn't want to give it too much of a chance, they'd be less intimidated about it if they knew it was kind of like everything and everywhere. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It is something that can be tamed. It is something that people can do. They have the potential to do it, and just aren't aware of it. They haven't been encouraged to. And I would like to see that changed more in the future, and it's definitely something that I definitely make it a point to do on my own. So, I would like to see that increase over time. But okay, so with that being said, I guess the take home message is yes, math. It's more than what you think. It's not just about numbers, it's about representation, it's about communication, it's about art, it's about logic. There's a lot to it. And I hope this makes someone hate math a little less. That would be nice. I wanted people to see the greatness in it, is all. Yeah. So again, this is a different kind of video. The last two before this were like that too. But I like it. I like the topic. I wanted to do something a little bit more personal to me, and I'm a mathematician, so can't get much more personal than that. All right. Prime out.